Yo, fam. Phillies talk, Sixers talk, and obviously you guys calling in. Let's go.
That's my baby. That's my baby.
We're going at it at 110%.
I just want 5 minutes of happiness, please. Just give me 5 minutes.
And they scored. They did it.
Left, feet left.
What the hell was that? Oh, yeah.
What the fuck are you talking about?
What's up, fam? It's Fan Friday where you guys can come on, just message us in the DM. You guys can come on, talk sports with us. No Tom Arnone this week. Got myself, Johnny down there, Pete right over there. Got a lot to talk about. Obviously, we're going to be giving our Phillies live reactions as well as a recap of the Sixers' first round in the playoffs against the Wizards, 4-1 victory. So we're all happy there. Won at Wells Fargo, so can't complain. And they play again on Sunday, and we'll be previewing that as well. And then, of course, obviously with our members, our members get first access into the call-ins. So if you want to call in, give your sports takes, give your opinions, or just come and chill and just shoot the shit with us. Message us on our socials. Huh?
We banned Rome, right?
I don't know where he's been, to be honest with you. He might be on an island somewhere.
I mean, he's probably like all Cowboys fans. He's just hiding. Because there's no possible way he could bring up like Nick Foles and talk about like 16 weeks of Carson Wentz, like clip by clip.
Mm-hmm. But before we get into it, a quick word from our sponsor. That's eXp Realty. Looking to buy or sell a home? Looking for a change in career or brokerage? Contact our guy, Alan Foy of eXp Realty at 302-682-8820 or visit him at alan.foy@exprealty.com. But, and to the poll question, before we really get into it, the full capacity crowd will help the Phillies during their series against the Nationals. Now, with me, I disagree big time. Big time disagree. It's just I don't think I don't think anything can really help this team at this point, to be honest with you. I just think we are what we are right now. We're riddled with injuries. I mean, maybe when Harper and Gregorius come back, maybe we have something. But even then, I think with Wheeler having a fantastic season right now, Noah's been okay. Noah's been okay in my opinion. But this team, I didn't think they were going to be this bad this year, to be honest with you. Especially with all the money that we put out there. And
I also don't think anyone expected to have this many injuries either. Because the standard for injuries for the MLB right now, I think that magic number is like 12 to 15 per team on their injury list. I think the Mets have their record right now with 21 players on the injured list.
Shout out Molly Mall for
big shout out Molly Mall. Welcome.
Woo!
You're a Cowboys fan, but we love you. At the end of the day, we still love you.
Hey, that takes some dedication right there.
Oh, absolutely.
I mean, to dedicate your life to suck, yes.
I'm gonna say disagree to this poll heavily, mainly because this team sucks so bad they're not filling it to 100% capacity anyway. So,
that's right. That's also true.
So it's not like they're getting the fans to really cheer for them. Right. As like me personally, I know that a lot of people in the city are diehard baseball fans, and we have some fans that are Phillies number one. They'll watch every Phillies game 1 through 162.
Yeah.
I'm a Phillies fan, but they're not like if I would rank my fandom of the teams, they're not 1. They're probably 4. So. Like
what? The Flyers over the Phillies? Get out of here!
The
Flyers haven't been relevant since the 70s.
All right. Well, Eric Lindros, but that is.
You weren't alive for that.
That is probably
your dad's balls. What are you talking about?
All right. Hold up. I'll put the Flyers and the Phillies
out of here.
Tied last. That's what I'll do. But it doesn't matter. We're talking about the Phillies anyway. The Phillies are at a point where they're just so frustratingly bad to watch, mainly because of fielding and injuries and not being able to hit and Aaron Nola being bad. I just can't watch them. Like, I'll call me when you win 3 in a row, then I'll come back. But until then, I'm not coming back. I'm not watching any more games.
Yeah.
A little bit of a side note. It's kind of related to the conversation, but it's also not at the same time. Has anyone watched any NHL hockey? Like any postseason hockey at all? I haven't.
I've watched Maple Leafs games because my friend is a suffering Maple Leafs fan, and I wanted to laugh.
I watched when the Golden
Game
Knights.
7. Game 7 was
Knights
tough.
play because for whatever reason, I just kind of love the hell out of that team for whatever reason.
Mm-hmm.
There's a nice vibe.
They're just a fun team that somehow, some way, they're an expansion team and they kick ass. Like they kick everyone's ass. I don't understand it.
The NHL did have some type of like mess up with it. Was just dumb luck. Like certain players that were talented got kicked to the curb, and they just had good scouting. You had to give them props.
Yeah. But
no team has ever been like no expansion team has ever like done what they've done and what they're doing right now. It's ridiculous. Like look up other expansion teams, John. It's insane.
Yeah. So Pete, what do you say to the poll?
It's not just a no. It's an oh hell no. Look, I'm as diehard Philly guy as you can get. Like, I went to a freaking Phillies game like after during COVID. Like that's how diehard I am. Like, Thankfully, I picked a section where I was all the way up top, away from people. But I digress.
That's the best section to be in my
opinion. It is. Oh my god,
that's the best way to go.
It was beautiful. No one was near us. It was great. You know, I could eat my hot dog. It was fantastic.
Me and my buddy, every time we go, we always have a spot in right field. Like we might not get tickets there, but we'll always end up migrating there. You see the whole field and everything. It's great. I love it.
I like just buying the cheapest tickets I can and then doing standing on the concourse because it's like plenty good view from there, and you just get around.
Yeah, you can get a good view anywhere. You can get a good view anywhere in that ballpark.
Ironically, my best friend's first ever Phillies game was him sitting with me behind the Diamond Club, and he gets to watch a Darren Ruff walk-off single to win it in the bottom of the 10th.
Jesus. Jesus.
But yeah, like they're just bad right now. It sucks. Like everyone's hurt. They can't hit. Everyone's inconsistent. I think they have a losing record when Eflin, Nola, and Wheeler pitch together somehow, even though Wheeler's the best of the bunch, you know. 4 and 5 is a mess. Ironically, Vince Velasquez is having a stellar year. What the hell? Yeah, because I totally would have had that on my 2021 bingo card.
Right.
But it's just like, there's just a mess. Like obviously, like Jay says, like maybe once Harper and Gregorius come back and, you know, you can get some consistency. Like they're just a mess right now. Ironically, Rhys Hoskins is their best player. He is. He's leading them in every category but stolen bases.
Yep. Which is absolutely insane. Which tells you how.
Here's the thing. I know people have a love-hate thing with Rhys. I don't want to hear shit about Rhys Hoskins for the rest of the season because he's the only one who deserves to wear the Phillies pinstripes at this point right now.
At the moment, yeah.
At the moment, right now. I don't want to hear shit.
Right now, he's the hot hand right now.
And Vinny V, he deserves to don the pinstripe.
He's on a trial basis, God damn it.
Yeah, his last outing wasn't that great, so I'm tugging back a little bit.
There you go.
I let him, what do you call it? I let him out on the leash a little bit.
He gets to put the jersey on, but he doesn't get to button it up just yet, John. He does not have button up privilege.
Yeah, I've seen this. We've all seen this before.
Me and Jake have been watching this movie for what, like 5 years now?
We've seen Vinny V have a good start here, a good start there, but other than last start, he's really been consistently solid. Like he hasn't been giving us seven innings, like 8 innings, but he's been giving us 5 innings, 6 innings, scoreless, 1 run. So it's better than what we've
seen that for a full season.
Yeah,
it's nice.
Exactly.
But this is Vince Velasquez's whole career. He'll have a stretch where he's dominant as shit, and then he'll turn into Vince Velasquez.
Yep, exactly. Because
one game where he's Vinny Velo again, that 17, what was it, 14 or 17 strikeout guy, and then
he's
the guy who's just like, I'm just gonna throw it. Oh, it landed somewhere? Excellent.
Yeah, and like Pete said, we've seen this before. He's been here for what, 5-6 years now. He has his ups and downs. Now, mind you, his month of May was fantastic, minus his last outing against Cincinnati. But I mean, I'm ready to get hurt again, but at the same time, I know what I'm expecting to happen. It's going to be the same story. It's going to break my heart again. I do like Vince Velasquez a lot. I've always been a fan of him, but I just know where this is going. I know exactly where this is going. Yep. Phillies are down 2-1, by the way, in the top of the 8th.
Super fun.
So
we're done with baseball now, right?
I mean, unless you guys have anything else really to kick around, but I mean, right now, I mean, it's actually been a really good pitching matchup between Wheeler and Scherzer. It's just
everything.
Washington's up one.
I love Zach Wheeler more than life. My buddy's a big Mets fan, so like every time Zach Wheeler is good, I just get to laugh a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
And he's just like, oh, God, that's Zach Wheeler. Oh,
shouldn't have gotten rid of him.
Oh yeah, I would love to have him on this show because it would literally be like the funniest. He's literally like the weirdest motherfucker ever, but he's hysterical.
Oh yeah.
Tom would would handle him for 5 minutes. He's like, get off.
David, we can see the chat. So if you want to ask a question, go ahead.
Yeah, by all means, go for it.
Yes, my hair is real.
What's up, Ricky?
Beautiful.
Yeah, but I just don't know. Here's a question. Here's a question. Because I feel like if this season ends how I think it's going to end, and I don't think it's going to be pretty, with all this money, what do you do? Like with all these players that you're paying, what do you do?
Well, I mean, to be fair, you're going to have at least 50 to 70 million next year off the book. And I think if the season ends the way I think it is, I think Girardi gets fired. I don't want to see that happen because I really like Joe Girardi, but it's not looking pretty. And the fact that Gabe Kapler is not sucking in San Francisco is also not a good look.
No.
Like, I feel like if Kapler was doing bad in San Francisco, I feel like people would care less.
Mm-hmm.
But the fact that those two things are happening simultaneously is not a good look.
It's the most Philadelphia story ever, right?
Yes.
To where this guy, Gabe Kapler, we made fun of religiously. Whether it's on air, off air, other platforms, other media platforms.
Last year, I said he'd get fired after a year. Now I say he's going to win the World Series because it's going to be the most Philly thing ever.
Oh, there's no doubt about it.
He's going to win a World Series, and I would love for him to come on Angelo in the morning and be like, "Hey, Angelo, we want to talk sports."
The most depressing thing about the Phillies, like this last thing I'm going to say about them, is that I was a huge Bryce Harper hater before he was on the Phillies.
Okay.
But now that we got him, like when we got him, I was completely turned and I was ready to be on the bandwagon. And I really am a huge Bryce Harper fan now.
Mm-hmm.
But I just feel depressed because we're letting him down. Like when you sign that type of contract, the organization makes a promise to a player that's of that caliber that they're going to be a competitive team and they're going to field a team that could win with you on it.
Mm-hmm.
Embarrassing.
And it's just embarrassing. It's honestly just embarrassing for Philly's organization that this is happening. And I know Bryce isn't the guy that's going to be like requesting a trade or asking out, but it just doesn't help his like motivation. You know what I mean? Like it doesn't help him play better.
Yeah.
Well, ironically, love Bryce Harper with everything in my power. And yet 4 years ago, I did a podcast where I said he was going to go to New York and become the super diva personality and be like a Mickey Mantle head case dude. And yet here we are.
Carlos Stanton.
Yeah, I say Mickey Mantle because he was drunk and, egotistical and he was crashing cars and shit.
The Mickey Mantle gene.
Yeah, I thought that's what it was going to happen to Bryce Harper, where the New York lifestyle was going to be too much for him.
No.
And yet here he is in Philly, the most boring and awesome dude on the planet.
Look, it feels like certain franchises in sports are cursed.
Mm-hmm.
And it feels like the Phillies have been cursed since the Ryan Howard Achilles injury. Like,
you're not wrong.
I mean,
That's why I hate the Cardinals forever.
The problem with the Phillies is there are many problems, but the one big problem that I point to is that player development is absolutely non-existent.
Yeah,
they don't know how to develop talent.
That's a hard thing to talk about because we don't really know because remember, the player development as of right now is like a year old. Like we literally just hired new player development personnel last year.
It's not a good look when your best prospect is going backwards.
Who?
Yeah.
Bone? I want to say that's like a sophomore slump. Like those things tend to happen.
Yeah, I get what you're saying. Like that's kind of common to see.
Also, like when you watch Alec Boehm, like I feel like it's not even that he's playing bad. Like that's the thing with Boehm that people say, "Well, he's having a bad year." It's not even that he's having a bad year. He's
numbers will tell you that, but if you watch, you can see he has made good contact.
He's making great contact. He's hitting the pitches he's supposed to. Just somehow, some way, they end up magically in someone's glove, or there's an error that's supposed to happen, and they end up catching it, or they catch the home run at the wall randomly. Like he's the unluckiest hitter in baseball right now.
Well, we'd be singing his praises if that ball that he hit, what was it, a couple weeks ago, was just 6 feet further, and we would have had a walk off, and then we'd be freaking blowing the guy. But I agree with what Pete's saying. It's more of like a sophomore slump, but he's a young guy, so I'm not really that worried about Alec Boehm. I think people kind of rush to judgment, especially in this city, when it comes to players. But
I'm not worried about Alec Boehm either.
I'm not either.
Like that, our team, like when we looked at it on paper, we really were the Dallas Cowboy fans this season with the Phillies. Like we looked at this team on paper, we're like,
no,
all right, but like not that we were going to win the title, but we were saying like, oh, look at this team on paper, it's so good. We got Nola, Wheeler, Eflin. That's a good starting three. We got Bryce, Reese. We thought this lineup was going to be so deep, and now no one can stay healthy. And
I don't think that's a fair comparison because, like, with the Cowboys, like they're going off nothing. Like last year, we had one of the best lineups in baseball. Like that's something.
We were still bad.
You were like, what were you like a game out of the playoffs?
Like the thing is, what did we really change? Like we didn't really get that.
You didn't need to change anything. The assumption was you didn't really need to change anything offensively because you were a top five. You were a top five lineup.
Mm-hmm.
Like, and you went out and you did things that were supposed to help you. You got out and you got better bullpen guys. It was an understandable assumption that this would be a better team. And for whatever reason, injuries, unluckiness, and anything else is just playing into it. Like, I don't think they were a paper team. You just looked at the facts and be like, okay, this all makes sense as to why we'll be a better team this year. And it just it hasn't turned out that way. That's all it is. Like, there's no, we're at the Cowboys counting the chickens before they hatch. Like, you went off of what you saw last year, and you used the numbers to be like, okay, I can understand how they're going to be a better team this year instead of, oh, my God, we're the Dallas Cowboys, and we're going to win everything every year.
Well, when you think
that's paper.
Think about this, though. What is going to change next year? How are we going to get better? We have our owner doesn't want to spend any more money because otherwise he's going to be in luxury tax. Our manager is not going to – our manager's either going to change – or he's going to stay the same. But if he changes, I doubt that we're getting anyone who's more experienced than Joe Girardi. Like that just doesn't exist on the market.
Not right now, no.
Maybe you don't need that.
It's just really pessimistic times to be a Phillies fan, honestly.
I don't even know at this point if it's really like on the manager. I think you have to look up top, to be honest with you. I really think you have to look up top. When it comes to the issues that we've had for as long as we've had.
And I would expect that since this team's struggling so much and we've had troubles with defense, that even though he may not even be ready, I mean, who knows? Maybe he will be ready, but I'm expecting Bryson Stott to be up, maybe even at the end of this season.
It wouldn't shock me if we trend downward even further. Then yeah, I agree. I think
next year, though. Definitely next year.
Yeah, definitely next year. But if we struggle like we have, then. Or continue to struggle. We had a good game against Cincinnati the other day, but that's a splash in the pan to me.
Yeah.
Max Scherzer's just walking off after 108 pitches in the bottom of the eighth.
Super fun.
I just talked about this also before, back to the scouting thing. Like the Phillies don't take trips to the Dominican Republic. They just don't.
Been saying that forever.
They don't. Whoever that someone brought his name up. Like I was listening to on the radio.
It's not even just the Dominican Republic. Like they just don't. They don't go anywhere. Like
they don't go outside of.
Not outside the U.S.
No, they really don't.
They're like a 1920s baseball team. It's like just the U.S. That's the only place that can produce baseball players. Ha ha ha.
Like if someone would have told them about Shohei Ohtani, they wouldn't even have known because they would never go.
Yeah. That's what I want. Like, I want a guy like Tom who's going to go like the Dominican Republic, the Cubas of the world. You know, go to China. I don't give a shit. Like, if you, you know what I want? I want that son of a bitch from the Scout who's going to like everywhere trying to find the Brendan Fraser-esque player. Like, let's go.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Brian said it best. Middleton, Dombrowski, and Fold need to be better at bringing in talent. Free agency in the draft. I don't think that those guys will do a bad job bringing in talent. Middleton, you can write him off. He doesn't do that, but
I think Middleton. I'm not Middleton. I think Dombrowski and Fold did a good job this year. Like I honestly, there's some hits or misses, but like it's their first year together.
I was just gonna say,
and you weren't gonna like throw together like fat big contracts.
The problem is though, like the base. Everyone knows this. Baseball is not like the NBA. It's not like the NFL. When you draft someone, you're not seeing them for 4 years. So with the Phillies having such a barren like farm system, we really don't have. I mean, Stott, maybe we don't really have anyone coming up anytime soon that's going to help us out. So we're in.
I do love Mick Abel though. Oh,
yeah, but isn't he in like low A ball? We just drafted him last year.
But that kick, he's lighting up right now, and
we're in a spot. We have Bryce Harper and JT who are win now players, and the rest of the team is not win now.
That's another guy who's been struggling big time this year, in my opinion. Is JT Realmuto.
He started out hot, but then he got injured and hasn't done that much recently.
I mean, as a catcher, he's doing what he does, and that's fine. But when you're talking about offensively, he just hasn't been as good, which was my big concern when you give a guy like that as much money as you gave him. But I mean, we'll see. I mean. I'm not going to use COVID as an excuse. It's just another weird year.
I don't think COVID season applies at all.
No, I don't think so with this year. But
you never know with the effects. Like there's dudes still like a year removed from that shit, and like they're still not feeling it.
Well, it's crazy to me too because we predicted before the season. I know a lot of us did before the season started. We predicted the NL East to be a real competitive division this year. This division stinks. Division, so we're somehow still in third place and we've been playing awful baseball.
Most exciting thing about NL East is that I feel like every single night when I go on Instagram I see a Ronald Acuna home run. That's like the only thing I see.
That's the only part.
Would you guys like a fun sports fact?
Go for it.
This is the first finals in like a decade that doesn't have LeBron, Steph.
I did hear this.
KD or Kawhi.
It wasn't even just that. It was just the first finals in the last 10 years that hasn't had LeBron or Steph.
Yeah.
Think about it.
Since when? 99, you said?
No, since 2010, this is the first finals that won't have LeBron and Steph. Or Steph. LeBron or Steph.
Okay. Well, I saw another one. Apparently, the finals this year, this will be the first NBA finals without LeBron, Curry, Kobe, Duncan, or Shaq since 1998.
Just feels wrong.
End of an era.
I'm glad, honestly, because even if the Sixers don't win the finals, like I'm glad that we get to see a new team, a new like young star win potentially. Because right now the West is wide open. Like no one has any idea who's going to win that.
Mm-hmm. And I think that's why it's been like such a fun year.
We know who's going to win. It's the Sixers.
I was talking about the West, but
that's not true. It's the Nets. The Nets are going to fix everything and solve all the world's problems.
I mean, we're about to get into some talk about the Sixers, but
might as well just hop into it right now.
Yeah, Jake, what do you want to start with?
Well, just kind of like recapping the whole series against Washington. The whole it wasn't even. I wouldn't even say it was a back and forth series, minus the one game in Washington.
I would like to say this before we start for anyone in the chat that has what's up, Tom? That has not heard this. Apparently, Joel practiced like a little bit today.
I did hear about that. Yeah,
he looked good, and Dwight Howard said that he was moving like his normal self laterally, which I think is big.
I don't think like. I understand meniscus tear looks bad in a lot of cases.
It looks bad. It looks worse.
Because he's even had a meniscus tear before. But depending on what type of tear it is, he can actually play. Like, I don't think people understand that. Like,
yeah, it's a very minor tear.
Depending on the type of injury they sustained, he can play. Yeah. Hello, Rachel.
I saw the video that the YouTube doctor guy Sutterer makes on like all the injuries. I don't know if you guys know him.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about. I follow him.
He made a video on Joel's injury, and he basically said that, like, depending on how small it is, if it's what the Sixers are describing, it's like a little like cut. Like usually you hear tear and you think, okay, muscle here, muscle there, in the middle, like split. But it's really just a little chip off of the meniscus on the outside. So he said that it's going to swell. It won't get much worse. So that's good for us.
I was reading one of the things he said, and he's basically like, it's a physical therapy thing. Like, you're going to have to, like, for the rest, he's just going to have to really work it with physical therapy in between games if he wants to play.
Mm-hmm. And speaking of physical therapy, you can also hit up our doc, Dr. Paul Vidal, specializedphysicaltherapy.com, Burlington and Cherry Hill locations. Find them on the web, specializedphysicaltherapy.com.
We didn't do that on purpose, amazingly.
No, I just happened to stumble upon it during mid-conversation.
It's just the way Destiny works it.
Little quick plug and play. But I mean, when it comes to what players say about other players' injuries and stuff like that, like Dwight can say he looks good, and I don't trust the Sixers doctors either. They've scarred me forever when you're going back during the whole process years and that whole thing. But
yeah, for sure.
I mean, he can look good, and that's fine. I'm fine with that. But at the same time, I just don't want it to become like to where they start rushing him and then it turns into something actually serious. That's my concern. Because even when it's like a small minor tear like that, it can turn into something even worse. And that's what I want to avoid. Yeah. So if we can,
I might not even play him game one. I might see what this looks like.
Mm-hmm.
Because he's gonna get a week to heal and to do his physical therapy and everything else. And you know what? Maybe I like the Miami series a few years ago, where you play game one without him, and then it's like, okay, we win. All right, well, let's try game two. Oh, we lost. Okay, maybe we bring him in for game three.
Right. But I think it really depends, Pete. To be honest with you, to where, let's say theoretically he doesn't play game one and game two, and we win both game one and game two. I'm still sitting him.
I'm going in. I'm 100% with that. Like, I'll go in the game if I'm up 2-0. We'll go in the game three, and then we'll see what happens.
Yeah, if we say if we're like 3-0, we come into game four, I might throw him in on like a minutes restriction, but I'm not leaving him in for anything substantial.
No.
The Sixers CEO did say today, though, that it's his decision. Really, he said that. I don't know if he's the doctors, but I mean, he should have some inside information. He said that if Joel feels like he can play, he will play. So,
well, of course, because it's you're playing with an injury. Like, you can't exactly say it's like you have to 100% play, because then you end up with guys like Andrew Toney, and his career is done.
Yeah,
I just feel like I'm gonna be happy. I'm gonna be so happy and excited to see Joel play, but at the same time, every time he touches the ball, I'm gonna be praying. I'm gonna be having to just clench my teeth because I cannot deal with another major injury.
Yeah, bro, that's been me every time he touches the ball since his career started. Like, anytime he breathes a little too hard, my balls hit the floor, man.
This year, though, his health. I mean, even though he did suffer that sprain, this year his health has been a lot better. Like, he's played a lot.
But that's not true. The process was awful, and it ruined everything, or so a certain person says, whose name will not be mentioned on this podcast or on this show.
But speaking of Pete's balls hitting the floor, Get 20% off free shipping with code A2D at manscaped.com.
We did it again.
Unlock your confidence and always use the right tools for the job.
Greg, I agree.
They have great line of products. Just saying, save yourself some money. Helps us out. Helps you out. Your lady will be thankful. Lady will be thanking us. Just saying.
Speaking of cameos, that was just a wonderful cameo of my mother. Just randomly wanted to interject herself into the show. My mother's one and only venture into sports talk.
Yeah, and I agree with what Greg's going to say. Yeah, and we touched on that earlier, to where the fans aren't going to matter. And I apologize if I screw up your last name, Alhamud. I think that's how you say it. I'm sorry if I butchered it, but are the Phillies going to lose?
Yeah. Mood.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah, they're
most likely.
That would be a good bet.
I mean, it's top of the ninth right now, 2 outs. So I mean, they have a chance to come back, but we'll see. We'll definitely see. But right now, it's not looking good. I mean, it's 2-1. Anything can happen.
I'm really just at a point, like with the Sixers, as far as going into Sunday, and it really doesn't. It feels like it's farther away than it really is. Like it's only 2 days away. But going into the game, like I'm at a point where I need to see game one to really be able to predict where the series is going to go, because it's possible. It's possible we get the Sixers we got against the Wizards without Embiid in the second half, where they played great, or it's possible we get some of the games we had without Embiid, like against the Grizzlies, where we struggled. So, I mean, the Hawks. I mean, I think the national media is like overhyping them a little bit. Like,
I agree.
They're just people are saying, "Oh, watch out, the Hawks." You know, some people I heard say Hawks in 5. Like, come on. Like,
I think Shaq said that. I think
Shaq
said
5 out of like 82.
The thing is, like, I don't trust the Hawks even without Embiid on the court to beat the Sixers 2 times in Philadelphia.
Yeah,
no way.
This isn't the Brett Brown Sixers where Trae Young's going to go off for 45 because Brett doesn't know how to scheme shit. Like, this is just not happening.
Well, Trae's going to get his regardless, just because he's going to take 30 shots a game.
Yeah,
and then Hawks fans are going to be like, "Oh, but he scored 30 points. No one else did anything." I'm like, well, Trae also shot it 30 plus times.
The Sixers, though, really, I mean, we'll see if Joel plays or not, but even if he doesn't, let's say Joel doesn't play a single game in the series, which I don't think will happen, we cannot have that as an excuse. We need to win this series with or without Joel, because we need to validate our 1 seed.
Yeah, no,
we're gonna take care of business. Like, this is just like, it's gonna happen. There's no doubt in my mind we're gonna whoop their ass. Like, Joel or no Joel?
I would say it's like 70-30 that we're gonna win.
90-10. Because
think about it. The Wizards was like a surefire. All right, we're clapping them. But the Hawks do have the ability to get hot on any given night to screw something up, but not 7 games in a row. No, true.
The Hawks are a team that can get you here and there, but they're not a consistent threat.
If I'm predicting it, I really hope the Sixers can win both at home to start the series, and then the Sixers will probably lose 1 in Atlanta. Yeah, and then, I mean, if we set ourselves up to win in Game 5, then awesome. But
here's the thing: they're gonna go 4-1. They're gonna win in 5 or 6. That's it. It doesn't go longer than that.
Yeah.
No, I think, and like we touched on earlier, I think it really depends on if and when Embiid plays in the series. Yep. And I think, to be honest with you, if whether Embiid plays or not, I think we wrap it up in 6. That's just my opinion. I mean, if we get 5, I'm fine with 5. I'll take 5 all day.
I really like. Obviously, I'll touch on the Ben Simmons stuff here. Like, obviously, he needs to get better from free throws. I'll say that. Like, Shut up, John. I will bitch slap that grin off your face. You're 18.
Right, well, as far as
you're 18, I can do that.
Now you got me started here with Ben Simmons. Okay.
I'm talking. No.
Oh, go ahead. Finish. I thought you were just sitting there.
Your elder has the floor, young man. Papa Bear's talking.
Continue.
But yeah, like, obviously I need more from Ben from the free throw line. But some positives I'll take away is that in the last 2 games, he shot much better from the free throws than he did start, and that makes me feel a little better. 14 was it like 14, 8, 10, and 9 is also really great, and he had like a 4-to-1 turnover to or assist to turnover ratio. He had he only had 2.2 turnovers a game, which is the lowest he's ever had in the playoffs. I like things like that carrying over into the next round of the playoffs. Obviously, I do want him to shoot better from the foul line, but what was he, 5 for 8 or 6 for 9 in the last game, free throw wise?
It was something like that.
Yeah.
The majority of his shots he did make, though.
Yeah, which is good.
Because then Washington tried to do the old hack a Ben trick, and it ended up biting him in the ass, which I knew it would. It was only a matter of time before he was going to put it together.
Because he started to get going.
And that's going to be obviously we talk about this ad nauseum, but Ben's going to be the X factor in the series. He has to step up.
Yep.
Or at least he has to continue to play at the level they did the last game. If we get that Ben Simmons throughout the playoffs, I'm perfully fine.
Well, we don't even need 20 point triple double. Honestly, I think we could just deal with as long as you win the game and I see that you're having your given effect that you should have on every game. I don't want to see single digit scoring, but I don't need 20, 10, 15 every single game.
No.
Ben, though, I feel like another thing people are kind of saying, I've seen Kurt Goldsberry on ESPN show it. The Hawks defense really took a step up in the playoffs in this series against the Knicks. Okay, the Knicks are not the Sixers.
I was going to say.
Who do they need to step up? There's one guy in that whole team that you need to guard.
Julius Randle.
Derrick Rose. I don't count Derrick Rose because he's mostly playing against the Hawks bench players anyway.
The Hawks starting lineup consists of Trae Young, DeAndre Hunter, Bogdanovich, Collins, and Capella. That is a decently sized lineup, but it's not big. The Sixers are big.
It's not big at all.
No,
so
they can't defend.
We got mismatches.
The Sixers are big and they're long. That's
John Collins also get exploited from the defensive side of the ball all day. Tobias will have a field day with him. So
and Capella is literally one of the most overrated centers in the league. It's
I disagree with that. Capella's underrated.
No,
he's underrated. He's one of the best defenders in the NBA, and he's also very improved from mid range shooting, not mid range, but 10 feet in.
Big double at the bottom of the ninth from Reese Hoskins, no outs. Might have a comeback. Just saying, comeback alert.
Reese Lightning, and you doubted him, Jake. Tisk.
I'll continue to doubt him. If he keeps playing like this, I'll continue to doubt him out of spite.
I'm wondering though,
because it means he plays good. Doubles. It means he'll play good, so I don't care. If that's what I have to do in order for Reese Hoskins to play well, I'll do it all day.
I have confidence, though, like Pete said, in Doc to build up a scheme that's going to be problematic for the Hawks on the defensive end.
I have your scheme. Are you ready? It's Tyrese fucking Maxey.
Yeah.
On defense?
No, not on defense. Tyrese Maxey's going to clamp some guys on defense.
That's what I'm talking about, defense.
He's just going to rover around in the circle until the Hawks get tired.
I don't know if Doc wants to do the same thing he did last time where he started Matisse because that first quarter was kind of atrocious. But I feel like the whole purpose they started Matisse is that way so you didn't have to play Mike Scott. That was literally the whole purpose. Yeah, but you could also start George Hill. But you don't want to do that. I would start Maxey or Hill to have a ball handler on the court because if you're putting Simmons at the 5, he can't be the ball handler all the time. You got to have someone else. I'd be tempted with Maxey, but I might put Furk in because he's had his last 2 games were really good. And I need shooters. I like Maxey. Greg's on board for that one. It's not about. I don't think you're sliding Maxey at all. I get what you're saying, but Furk has had moments in the games where he's played well, and he's also had atrocious moments. It's true, but the last 2 games I'm talking about where he's been hot and he's been good. That's what I'm building off of what he's been doing. If he was cold as shit, I wouldn't be saying this. Shake. I'm not starting Shake.
Yeah, shakes.
I
Terrible.
will say this is that Maxey continues to because I didn't think Doc would play him a lot, but Maxey has earned his playoff minutes.
He absolutely
and people get mad at me. People get mad at me all the time. They're like, "Oh my God, you're a Maxey hater." I said, "No." I said, "I'm not. I'm just not saying he's the next Allen Iverson just yet."
No,
I've said this whole season. They're like, "Why doesn't Maxey play more?" I said he needs to earn it. And you know what? He's earning playoff minutes. He's earned every time he steps on the court, he's earning more and more playoff minutes.
Well, we know Pete had an aneurysm because after the 40-point game, everyone was saying, "All right, Ben, you lost your job."
It was literally like the most ridiculous thing I've ever heard. They're just like, "Well, we can trade we're going to bench Ben Simmons, and we're going to what was it? We're going to." My favorite thing from this season has been we're going to bench Ben Simmons and what was it? Seth Curry. And we're going to start Tyrese Maxey and
Matisse
Thybulle. And I was just like, cool. You are the dumbest person I've ever met in my whole life. And I pray to Jesus you don't procreate.
This is why you're not a coach.
Yeah, but
I'd be a great coach.
Not you. I'm saying like the people that said that.
Yeah.
Because it's just but that's just the way Philly is. It's a one. You got what the hell is his name? There's this dude in college a few years ago. He scored 115 points in a game, and everyone's like, "Oh, this kid's gonna be amazing." He took 300 shots, but if something like that happened in Philly, you'd be like, "Oh my God, he needs to play every night." But they won't take into consideration how he scored that number. That's my problem with Philly fans is that.
Well, that's just sports media in general, to where they just look at the flashy numbers, right? They look at the flashy numbers, and they won't be like, okay, how did he get here? How many attempts did he have? That's the key factor.
That's why I hate Kobe's last game.
My issue. Well, Kobe's last game. I mean, he shot the ball 22 for 50 times. To be honest, 44% shooting. That's his career average. So that's really not that bad.
So the Nationals catcher literally just ran across the field.
Yeah.
To tag out our guy at second base. Who the hell is this guy? The guy with the long hair. Who is it? Oh, this is the guy we just brought up.
Janikowski.
Oh my God.
Wait, so what happened?
He went in between the bases. He was trying to steal bases. He fakes him with a throw, and then he literally runs all the way across the field, just kind of shaking the ball around, acting like he's going to throw it, and then he just tags Janikowski.
Pinch run for Reese. Is that what happened?
Yeah, he pinch ran for runs.
So now we have no runner in scoring position.
Nope.
Oh, awesome. All right.
Joe.
Yeah, so we're probably gonna lose. Full count for JT Realmuto here. But
when they ask Joe why he did that, he's just gonna say manager's decision. Next question.
Mm-hmm. Well, now JT just struck out. So now we have one opportunity.
Who's up?
You're really making me love baseball.
I don't know. Nationals are having a mound visit right now, so I don't know who's up next.
I am. I'm clearly hitting. I think I'm gonna bunt.
Currently, the Clippers are losing by 7. By the way,
by 7. What's
the second half?
Who knows? Maybe we'll have a Kawhi here next year.
Well, according to Daryl Morey, we might have Steph Curry next year.
Why not?
No, listen.
Honestly, can Steph be at every game so Steph just gets pissed off? He's like, "Screw you, bro! I'm gonna hit 40."
That's what I said. Literally what I want to do. Every single game, I need Ben Simmons to challenge him, saying he won't score 30, and then I need Steph there at every game, and then we'll be fine.
All right,
we'll be perfectly fine.
Can I bring up a fun thing? We
Sure.
literally, when the trade happened on draft night, I literally had this dude in Sixers 24/7, and I love this group. It's literally the greatest, one of my favorite groups in the world. But we had a guy in there, and he's like, "I don't think we got enough for Josh Richardson."
Oh no! Don't.
We should have got more.
I saw that the other day.
Like you literally got he's a 50% free point shooter. What are you talking about?
Literally, Josh Richardson sucks at basketball. He is terrible. He's
I
overrated.
won't even say. I'm not gonna go that route.
No. I will.
We're better. No,
I cannot deal with Josh Richardson. I watched him.
We're better than that.
That was way
He's
too
not a
long.
bad player. He's just awful for the Sixers. You need someone who can shoot jumpers and shoot threes, and he can't do either.
No.
He averaged 17 points a game on 40% shooting from three and 50% from the field his last year in Miami. He comes here and he averages 13.7 and shoots horrendously.
Well, that's because he was playing on a garbage team on Miami where they're just like, hey, just do what you want to do.
And now he's even worse. I mean, he's doing decent with the Mavericks, but he's not doing any better than he was with us.
Dude, I cannot get over this freaking.
Because on a real team with good players, he's not. You don't get the ball like 30 times a night, and you're just like, go do that. No.
Yeah, call him Mr. Don't forget Mr. Accountability.
I just watched the Janikowski play again. It's worse than I previously looked at it.
Really?
Jake just wants to make us all depressed.
Dude, there's the catcher literally jogged. The catcher literally jogged across the field, holding the ball like this.
Don't I have enough?
Janikowski's like he had no clue where to go.
Jake.
What'd you say?
So don't I have enough things in life to be depressed about?
Yeah, well, this guy Janikowski.
I don't have emotions towards the Phillies anymore.
Yeah, this guy Janikowski, he's going to be brought down after today. That's terrible. That's terrible, and that's going to be why we lose this game. But it's the Phillies, so
yep,
we're used to it.
Yay, pain.
I'm going to make this prediction on record.
Okay.
If the Philadelphia 76ers, and this is only if they don't win the title, all right, Damian Lillard will be a Sixer next season.
I mean, that's a bold one, and
it makes a ton of sense.
It's totally going to be an easy one to dunk on.
Damian Lillard needs to go to a team that he can actually win a title with. Legit.
I mean, I'm what do you call it? I'm
water
all about
is wet. Water is wet, I guess.
All right, ready? The Sixers are the only contender in the NBA right now that has all of their draft picks and actually has young assets that a team would want. The Miami Heat are cap-strapped and have no picks. The Milwaukee Bucks have no picks, cap-strapped. The Lakers have nothing to offer. The Sixers are the only team that he can go to and legitimately be a title contender, and we can get him here. It's all about if the Trailblazers are willing to trade him.
Can I keep Ben Simmons and get him?
No, you can't. No, you can't.
Yes, I can. I'll be like, Tobias Harris, Tyrese Maxey, Matisse Thybulle, draft picks. Bye.
Bye, Ben.
I don't want to know. I want to keep.
No,
I want those three to play together.
Yeah,
the ball movement will literally be like the Matrix.
That would be legendary if those three could play together. But we have to realize Joel Embiid and Damian Lillard, unstoppable.
Yes, you know what's even more unstoppable.
And then you add Tobias Harris, who's a third scorer. That's Tobias Harris's natural position to be a third option. That's his natural job.
That's nice. You know what else is a nice job? Damian Lillard catching passes from Ben Simmons and shoot it from like 40 feet.
We have to be realistic, though. Like, unless there's a team that wants Tobias Harris badly and will reroute him in a 3-team deal, unless there's something like that.
Here's the thing. I understand that. Like, obviously, we're just talking here. Like, I think you could offer Ben, Tobias, Tyrese Maxey, and picks, and the Blazers still hang up the phone because they just won't do it. Like they won't trade him for anything. Obviously,
why they're never winning anything.
Obviously, well, they're a stupid franchise. I don't like.
Their franchise needs a major overhaul. They've tried it for 5 years. They tried everything they can do. It's time to move on.
You understand that, and I understand that. And that's why I could get away with trading them Tobias Harris because they have nothing. There's no leverage there. There's nothing.
No, there's massive leverage. They could just keep him and waste his career.
Oh, I mean, that's fine. You can do that. I am under no.
He's also under contract for 4 more years. So
I understand that, but I'm under no. I don't have to trade for Damian. I don't like. I don't have to give them something. If he wants out and he wants to pull an AD where he wants to sit, you can do that. If you want to be stupid like the Rockets with James Harden, where it's like we'll get nothing in return for him, and then who's the other dude they traded? Who's
Paris LeVert?
No, well, Karis LeVert and the guy who's on Miami.
Oladipo.
Yeah, Oladipo. Like, if you want to screw yourselves in those 3 trades for no reason at all, just to say you traded them or don't trade them, go for it. I don't have to do it.
Here's the thing, though. The Knicks will be on the phone. The Clippers will try to be on the phone, even though I don't think
what
they have.
What do the Knicks have?
I mean, they'll
what do they have? No, like, I'm being honest. Like,
no, I agree.
Like, net Knicks package to where they're even picking up the phone.
This is why I said the Sixers have the best chance to get him. Like, if they legitimately want to, or a team like the Warriors could do it, but it doesn't make much sense. Like,
that makes even less sense because the only way you're doing that is if you're getting rid of Clay.
Okay, yeah, well, they would do like. The Warriors wouldn't even have to get rid of Clay to get him, honestly.
But how are they getting Dame? Like, that's my question.
So they have the Minnesota pick, which is top 3 protected, which probably will be top 5. They have
James Wiseman. If I'm the Blazers, I'm not doing that because I'm not getting something tangible.
You're getting James Wiseman, who they just drafted second.
I have no idea. But he had a solid start. Like, I don't know what he is like.
That's why the Sixers with Ben Simmons.
Jahlil Okafor had a solid rookie season and then went straight into the shitter.
Yeah, I mean, Ben Simmons is the most tangible asset that is in the league in a potential Damian Lillard trade, unless, who knows, the Wizards want to give him Bradley Beal. But I'm not
even sweating this because I'm just like, you know what? Morey put together a championship team with 2 months. In 2 months.
Yeah.
Like, God only knows what this crazy bastard's going to do off season. I'm sorry. He traded for 2 starters on the championship roster for nothing.
Mm-hmm.
We swapped Danny Green for Al Horford and Seth Curry for Josh Richardson. And we gave up nothing.
If I was on the show with Ralph, I would ask him how you missing Danny Green right now. Because the Lakers fans, all they did was slander Danny Green all offseason for missing 1 shot, right? He didn't have a great season.
Just 1 shot.
Listen. He didn't have a great season. He shot under his normal percentage, but
he also made one of the biggest shots for them that season too.
Yes,
so
exactly. And
can't forget that.
And they acted like he was absolute trash, completely disregarding his career history. And then now they're stuck with a guy like
the Sixers fans did like 90% of the season.
Mm-hmm.
Lakers really have no supporting cast. That's why they're home.
That's
I would argue the fact that like half their team is hurt, but go off.
AD gets hurt when you just look at the guy, so I can't even. It's a shame, but
that's how you knew things were not good when LeBron of all people gets hurt.
I don't feel comfortable with like. I know a lot of people have been like dogging AD for like being injury prone. Like, yeah, that's true, but I don't feel comfortable as a Sixers fan who loves Joel Embiid calling him out. Because
but like Joel can play like 30 games in a row and then getting hurt. Like AD will have like 6 games and then it's a thumb, and then he'll play 4 games and it's an elbow.
I agree with that.
And then it's another 6 games and then it's something else. Like Embiid might have these like a 20-game stretch where it's like he'll have a tummy thing here and there, and then he'll have another 15-game stretch where he's healthy and then something will happen.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. So before we wrap up,
I'm gonna bitch slap the Hawks.
What is your biggest, like, if you have one? If you don't, it's no big deal. But what is your biggest concern with the Sixers going up against the Hawks? Whether it be a player or
that Lloyd Pierce isn't there to be bitch slap that whole team. Because I remember that was a thing.
Essentially, you're saying Nate McMillan is a concern because he's a good coach. Yeah,
that was a thing for a whole 5 seconds where everyone thought Lloyd Pierce was going to be like this championship coach, and now he's nowhere.
Yeah.
My most concerning thing with the Sixers is not even like has to do with winning. Really, it has to do with number one, Joel Embiid not suffering re-injury.
That's mine. Yep, that was
like
mine.
That's everyone's.
Like that's just something that's going to be in the back of my head whenever he's on the court.
Mm-hmm.
But as far as the game, the most concerning thing for me is definitely how are we going to stop the Hawks from getting into the lane if we don't have Joel?
Yeah.
Like, how are we going to stop Trae Young from getting a floater? How are we going to stop Clint Capella from getting his offensive rebounds? Offensive rebounds kill you in the playoffs, so we can't have a solution to that.
Well, we kind of saw that against the Wizards when Joel Embiid wasn't there, so that's definitely a concern. And I think that's an under-the-radar concern too. But, I mean, we'll see as far as all that goes. But John stole my thunder with Embiid re-injuring himself. But I'm not really concerned that Embiid misses a couple games this series. I'm just worrying about what he's going to be. I don't think it's going to be like – he might come back, have a little rust. He might be a little slow, and that's fine because you're just coming off an injury. Yep. But it's something to where – if he gets hurt again,
yeah.
Well, you can kiss the finals run goodbye.
I feel like that's just everyone's concern. Like we don't even need to dwell on it much because it's like there's not going to be a disagreement here. It's all about Embiid.
Yeah, no doubt about it.
And those Sixers fans, we have the game on Sunday, but then Saturday, sit back and watch as chaos ensues.
Yeah,
Greek freak.
I gotta get my Giannis jersey on. I mean, this is gonna be a
Giannis jersey.
No, I don't. I'm saying I'm gonna see if I can get one as a Bucks fan.
I mean, I don't really have issues with that. Like depending on the player, like Giannis is the type of player to where it's just like, how could you not?
Yeah.
I like I mean. As long as the Nets don't win the championship, I really don't care who wins.
Yeah, that's my whole thing. Is that I think Kyrie's a moron, and I don't want him to win the championship. And I think KD's a snake, so I don't want him to win the championship.
It's just bad for the league. Like if you have guys that you can just throw together and then they don't even play together, that's just going to set a bad example for the league and lead to boring regular season basketball in the future. So we don't want that.
Yep.
Yeah. At least AD and LeBron had to fight through some stuff like. Kyrie and KD didn't have to do shit. They just had to whine and complain and cry until they got and they schemed until they got KD.
Yeah.
Who's that KD?
Harden.
Yeah, that's the big thing. But you guys got anything else before we wrap up?
Nope. Phillies still suck. Go Sixers, and Bucks will win Game 1.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yep, I agree with all that.
Yeah, definitely. I agree with that all day. But all right, fam. That's been this week's edition of Fan Friday. Don't forget, don't leave because we got Money Pot Podcast, got your guy Nate Moss and the rest of the Money Pot crew making yourselves a little bit of money for this weekend. So definitely stay tuned for that for all you gambling people. And I know a lot of us at A2D, a lot of us are gambling people. So we'll be right there up close and personal. But well, I had one more thing right here. Where is it? I just saw it. So we have a new membership, $9.99 a month, exclusively on YouTube as of right now. To where, let me see if I can find it for you guys right here. Here it is. $9.99 a month. Your perks will include an appearance on the show, Fan Friday. If you guys want to come on the shows on Fridays, and we might be throwing something together for like just a show where it's just you, what do you call it? You guys that have the membership. It might be a show just for you guys, but we're working on the details for that. Members only live stream, shout outs, weekly sports picks from the guys at Money Pop Podcast, discounted merch. We have a bunch of stuff coming for you guys. We have a bunch of stuff coming, but, we are also brought to you by eXp Realty. Are you looking to buy or sell a home? Are you looking to change in career path, possibly, or brokerage? Excuse me. Contact our guy Alan Foy of eXp Realty at 302-682-8820. And always, don't forget, especially this weekend coming up, get 20% off free shipping with code A2D at manscaped.com. Unlock your confidence. And always use the right tools for the job with Manscaped. The promo code is A2D. Get yourself 20% off and free shipping. As always, Jake Friel, Pete, Johnny down below, and we'll see you guys next week on another edition of Fan Friday. Later, guys.